What's up, Previews World? I hope you guys are awake. I know some of you have probably been marathoning Justice League and Captain America and Winter Soldier all at the same time, but you got to be awake for this because we got something dynamite for you, pun intended. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I've been a fan of both of these people. I've admired their work for a very long time. You know them from The Pro, you know them from Harley Quinn, but you also know them from an insane amount of other work that they've done over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti.
Hey guys, hey, how you doing?
What's up, Jimmy? How's it going? How's it going, Amanda?
Going great.
Yeah,
it's going really
well. We look mighty pink, but you know.
Although I look like a ghost almost.
Yeah, you are. Amanda's really bad.
I was joking earlier with Jimmy. It's the Red Sonja. Red Sonja is so red that it just offsets everything.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I think it's also my crappy camera on the computer.
I think you might just have to adjust your screen.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe. One day.
Well, technical issues aside, you guys are coming in nice and clear, which is great for our audience. So that's great. How's life for two creators in the COVID-landia, as we started to call it? How's everything been going?
It's the same because we work from home, and we're still working from home.
Yeah, I mean it sucks. I mean we've no conventions, no traveling. Yeah. She hasn't gotten to hug her parents in a year. There's a lot of crappy stuff. As far as work-wise, it's been great because we're doing less work, which is nice. And we're only picking and choosing what we're doing right now. So it's instead of the last, I don't know, 10 years have been just work. This time we're slowing down and doing our own things. And it's definitely more relaxing. And I think the work is also better. It's better.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Now, you guys are both insanely prolific. Like I said, I hesitate to say legends because that makes me feel old, and I don't want you guys to feel the same way. But you're definitely staples of the comic book world, and so I appreciate you guys sitting down, talking with us for a few minutes. I wanted to tap into the Invincible Red Sonja. So the March previews catalog is out right now. And you guys can pre-order this right now from Dynamite Comics. And be sure to let your local comic shop know about this because it's Jimmy and Amanda coming on to Red Sonja. It's actually a return for you, isn't it?
For me, I worked on Sonja just once for Dynamite years ago with Liam Sharp. We did an annual that one of Liam's best pieces of work, I think. And yeah, so it was just an in and out. I think it was a 48-page story. This time we get to do a lot more and build on a character. Plus, I have Amanda with me, so it'll read a lot better now.
There you go. So the solicit for Red Sonja goes like this, right, guys? Written by the award-winning fan favorites Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti. That is no stretch. Red Sonja finds herself on a spectacular journey filled with pirates, okay, mermaids, okay, princesses, and political intrigue as the threat of two kingdoms hangs in the balance. So off the break, I'm going to ask you guys to talk a little bit about, tell us about the story. What is the setting for the story? What is so invincible about Red Sonja?
Well, if we told you what was so invincible about her, it would be giving things away.
It has to do with something that happens in the middle of the series. Mm-hmm. So she's not so invincible out of the gate, although we do open the book in the present, and then we go back a couple of weeks, and that's where the story mostly takes place. But we kind of have fun with the idea that she's in a world where anything can happen. Amanda and I kind of grew up on the Roy Thomas and the Frank Thorne and the Barry Smith Sonja, and these were worlds with dragons and mermaids and wizards and kingdoms and volcanoes and crazy, everything and anything. And we created this. Something happens to Sonja where she earns the title on the book for a little bit, and but it's also about her attitude as well. You can't kind of you just can't you can't mess with her.
She's always been invincible, in a way, like,
right,
you can't keep her down.
Right. And there's some Moratat art that Moratat's drawing the series, doing him penciling, inking it, and coloring it. So it's he's just been doing amazing work, but it has everything to do with the story without giving away too much.
So it's not just hyperbolic; it's also well earned, which is good. To know, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So how'd you both get involved with the project? Like, I know this is a return for you, Jimmy, and this is like Amanda's first run on Red Sonja. Like, how did you both end up at Dynamite doing this project?
I have done some covers in the past for Dynamite on the Red Sonja books. Which are, I can't say no to Red Sonja. She's, been one of my favorite comic book characters since I was pretty young, like in my pre-teens. So, so yeah, I've done a little bit of Sonja stuff here and there, but I really, really get to dive into like whole entire storylines and, have some fun with Jimmy on this.
Yeah, when we finished up our Harley run at DC, we got a call from the guys at Dynamite asking us what we'd be interested in doing. We looked at their characters and right away, Man and I both agreed like, well, Red Sonja would be it out of all the characters, and then we negotiated with them for a while. We made them an offer they couldn't refuse, and told them what we wanted to do, and they liked it, and then we got to work. So it was really simple. I mean, I think we've known Nikki and the guys at Dynamite forever, so it just seems like a natural thing, like to go there and have some fun for a while.
All right, cool. Amanda, you actually mentioned that. Hold on, we got a note here. Awesome influence. I love Sonja being epic and larger than life. There you go.
Look how big she is behind me.
There you go. Right.
You can't mess with her.
So, Amanda, you mentioned loving Red Sonja as a teen. I saw a couple people saying that you wanted to be Red Sonja as a kid. Is this
Yes.
Is that true? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I had always been into comic books, and of course, in my before teens, in my single digits, I wanted to be Wonder Woman. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to be when I grow up, Wonder Woman. And I didn't know that wasn't a career choice until, maybe 11 or 12. And so I wasn't even in a comic book store. I don't know if I'd ever actually set foot in a real comic book store at that point, but I was in a newsstand. And they just had like this whole spread of comics. And I was like, what is this? This redhead with the sword. And wow, so I had to pick it up and I'm reading it. And then I would have to like run back to the newsstand and see if I could find more Red Sonjas. And it was the Frank Thorne ones, it like really stuck in my head.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, if I can't be, Wonder Woman, I'm going to be Red Sonja. So yeah, that's another, she was another one of the comic book characters that I wanted to be when I was growing up.
Okay. Awesome. No, shout out to Frank Thorne. Like I have you too.
He's
I'm Conan. So.
He's a Conan. Okay, there you go. I love that. King and Queen.
Everybody to prove it.
So, okay. So what's the creative process like with both of you writing? Like, Amanda, you do a lot of art, but you also have written in the past. Jimmy writes a lot, of course, but like, what's the process between when you're both writing together?
I have to say that Jimmy does the heavy lifting. He builds the house and then I kind of paint it and decorate it.
Okay.
But in the beginning, we'll be hanging out and we'll be talking about what it should be, going forward as a storyline plot and, where she should go and, figure out the story for Sonja. And then Jimmy is like, okay, he has like a general idea in his head. And then he just like goes into this zone and he just builds this story. And then it goes to the artist and it comes, and before the artist is completely finished, I'll get the art and I will just tear into it with the dialogue.
Yeah, she actually rewrites it once she has the art because she wants it to match perfectly.
Right.
So she goes back in and digs in for at least a week or two on that, like a week and a half.
Takes me longer than it should.
Yeah, and then and then she runs it by me if she's going to change anything but I don't read it. Once she's done with what she's doing, we send it to the letterer.
Yeah.
And I don't read it clean until the book comes out.
Yeah.
But I trust it.
We're both unleashing our inner Roy Thomas with this. It's like I was rereading like Conan's and Red Sonja's and everything, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's language just is
Yeah.
so incredible. I was like, I remember like looking through a Conan and going, ensorcelled. Is that even a word? And I was like, this is an amazing word, you know? It's like I'm like waiting for the moment when I get to like use that word.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
there's
Erlich.
Erlich's
That's
gullet.
her-
Erlich's gullet. I call Amanda Hellspawn once in a while, so it makes sense we
Yeah.
use it in the book.
and he's a foul dog, you know.
Yeah, yes, a foul dog.
Yes, a slobbering dog.
A slobbering dog, yes.
Not slobbering.
Slobbering, of
Yes.
course.
Slavering.
We have to get our like eras of speech right.
By Taram's blood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I can tell you personally, like Red Sonja, well, Roy Thomas in general, like he will push your vocabulary as a kid, like if you're reading that stuff. So Diego V says, yo, Jimmy Palmiotti, one of my childhood heroes. Welcome.
Yo, Diego. What are you like? 18?
Right.
20? What happened? But how you doing, Diego? Good to hear from you, buddy.
We got Brian Blevins in here. He says, it is so hard to find the perfect team consisting of talent that can draw, tell a story, and love the source material. Totally agree with you on that, Brian. But Jimmy and Amanda do it so effortlessly and flawlessly. I love that.
We're big friends of Brian. He's considered one of my best friends. That's what he tells me. And we adore Brian. So and we love that he's here. He's up this early in the morning. Usually Brian sleeps till like 4 in the afternoon.
Well, there you go.
Tonight, you know.
Wow, he got up for us.
He got up for us. Thanks, Brian.
There you go. There you go. Jason Bourne. I don't think that's your real name. Is that your real name? Let us know in the comments. I haven't read any Red Sonja before, so I'm very excited to dive into the character with this run. All right, awesome.
Yeah, Jason, you're gonna dig it. I will say though, make sure your retailer orders it, because the problem we're gonna have with this book is it's gonna sell out. So at least if you pre-order it, that you make sure you nail a copy from your retailer. But I hope you like it, Jason. Let us know if you like it, and if you get your memory back, and remember if you were once an assassin.
Right.
This is,
that's
no, Diego says
he was into your work when he
was 10. Okay, 25 years ago. All right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, thank you, Diego, man. That's awesome.
Liz Mills, it's great to see you both. You're both awesome. This book will be inedible. I hope it's inedible, but it will be incredible as well.
I think you can try to eat it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Salt.
Yeah. Liz, I suggest a little salt or put some chili on the top. Oh, incredible. That's different. All right.
Incredible.
All right. I was going to say, you know, we haven't had people eat our books, but we did do a Harley Quinn where it was scratch and sniff. So, so we have assaulted some other senses in our past.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think if we can do the first edible Red Sonja book, it would be pretty awesome.
Like roll-ups?
Like fruit roll-ups. Yeah, you could print on fruit roll-ups and you can just eat the page, eat it, eat the rest of the book, eat it. I want to do the fruit roll-up comic. There's got to be a way of doing that.
There's got to be a way to do that. Look.
Imagine you eat the last page by accident, though. I mean,
you don't know how it ends, right?
It's funny because, you know, if you're in a plane crash in the Andes, those edible comics will be worth millions.
There you go. Right. I was going to say inedible Red Sonja, but I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm just going to.
Edible Red Sonja. What would that taste like? What do you think that would taste like?
I'm going to let you handle that one, Jimmy.
Salty and tough, Amanda said. Salty and tough. I have to ask Conan about that. See what Conan has to say.
Well, guys, I want to definitely thank the people watching, and I want to remind them, like Jimmy just did, you can pre-order this right now at your local comic shop. It is available to pre-order now, and it's going to be dropping in like 2 more months. So definitely check out the Invincible Red Sonja. Matter of fact, it's going to be dropping May 5th, 2021. So get on the ground floor now, because like Jimmy said, this is hot. It's gonna sell out, guaranteed.
Yeah,
so.
we predict. You know, it's funny how you can tell like retailers that they under order sometimes, you know, because they're ordering hundreds of books a month. I get it. And sometimes a book like this slips by. So I have a pull box at you know, at my retailer. So I go in my previews and I pick out what I want, and that's my I don't know how many other collectors have that. Do you but my pull box is very important to me.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to add it to mine. So there you go. Amanda.
Yes.
Since we're on the topic of rude things, so I have a rude question for you. Why aren't you drawing this? Like, I've seen the Mortet art; it looks great, but I'm curious, why aren't you drawing this one?
I'm a little burned out right now, honestly, and I love Mortet's work so much. So I'm really relieved to, you know, have an artist that like, can sort of read our minds. You know, when we give him a script. Don't get me wrong, I would love to draw it. Every time I write something, I'm always like, damn, I wish I could draw this. I really wish I could draw this. But and it took me so long to get the Harley out. I mean, most people who read Harley are just like, why is this taking so long? And it came out really late. And I think I was just fried. Like there was like a point in the past year or two when
this was the past year, this book.
Yeah. So it was like sort of like a pretty severe burnout, and I just need to sort of hit the reset button before I can do some more interiors, because I really do love doing interiors. They're so much like the pacing and the storytelling. It's my favorite thing to do. But there are some times where it just takes me a while. I'm slow that way.
She is slow, but you're worth the wait.
There you go.
Thank you.
Much rather get an awesome comic than get one that's just kind of like you're burned out and you're trying to draw it. Like, you know, I totally co-sign that. Slow is fine as long as it comes out and looks awesome.
There you go.
So how do you two both decide to work on a project? Of course, you guys have done stuff separately, right? But like, how do you decide, okay, we're going to work on this one together?
So with this one, you know, we knew we were going to write it together. Out of the gate, because we both wanted to do it. So that was an easy decision, because if we love the character, like some of the books I do, you know, it's not really Amanda's thing, and some things she does, it's not really my thing. And so we try to find the ones that we both are going to have a lot of energy for, because we're here with each other 24/7. So, you know, if we're not interested in it, then we'd rather not do it. Like, we're at the point in our career, we're not going to take on something that we have no interest in, because we don't want to put out a product that just feels like that. You know, I think you only have a certain amount of books in your life to do, and I don't want to do the halfway stuff anymore. I don't want to do stuff just to pay a bill or something. We live really cheap, which is great. Like, we have a car and we have a place to live, so we don't really.
Well, I mean, you know, during COVID, we haven't gone out and spent a lot of money.
No, we don't have kids. We don't have kids either. So
we blow money on movies and
but even then we
haven't really done in the past year. So.
Yeah, so we're picking and choosing what we're doing. So at least when we pick and choose, when we do something, it's going to be the best we can do. And I think that's at least what we feel the audience paying the price for the book deserves is the best work we can do. So we're not about taking on a lot. We're just taking on, you know, what we think is the best job we can.
Okay, cool, awesome. Actually, I think we got 2 more comments here. Liz Mills is back. Says definitely worth the wait. All right, cool.
Thank you, Liz.
Thanks, Liz.
Yeah,
some encouragement. Brian Hillier, I believe. I heard about this upcoming book and I'm so stoked. I'm going to look and read It's going to look and read so excellent. We shall all be ensorcelled.
There you go. Brian, use that right in the sentence. You did that. Use that right in the sentence. That's great.
Brian, did you look it up in the dictionary and then say, I'm going to use this in the comment? Is that what you did? Let us know in the comments.
I don't think it exists in the dictionary, right?
I actually looked it up and it's like really like old school. And when I say old school, I think, you know, like, like several hundred years ago.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't even think it's the 1800s. I think it's like further back.
You know, the combination of us, I'm more of a big story guy. Amanda is that little detail language person. I'm more of the Pulp Fiction kind of guy, and you're more of the dialogue in it in a way.
I am like such a little detail person.
Yeah. She is. She's not so little. Don't. She does pick like a little bird, like, you know, kind of thing. But it works in combination. Like, you know, even for Harley, the last book we did, the Birds of Prey one that's out now, it's like there is so much in that book. You can buy it and read it, and you can read it a week later, and you're gonna read a different book. It's like there's so much work and so much detail in the art and stuff like that. So she doesn't do it halfway. So when she does it, it's it matters.
Yeah.
No, like I could honestly say a lot of my favorite artists like give you like a lot of bang for your buck, and Amanda's definitely on that list. And it's kind of a short list for me, but like those people that put a lot of story in every panel, and like it just makes, it gives you more bang for your buck. Just like it makes it worth it as for a reader. So
thank you.
Well, it's unique. It's unique to comics, right? So it's something that is unique to comics because you can watch a film, and a film goes at the speed the director set it up at, and TV is the same. But for a comic, you can literally just stop and read the dialogue and then say, all right, I'm going to look at the panel. I'm going to look at the background. It's all at your own pace. So a comic does offer something unique.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, speaking of artwork, like let's give a little shout out to Moritat. What made him the right artist for the job?
He's, number one, he was available. Which is like big time right now. We just got him. He just finished something, and
we just snagged him.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with him on All-Star Western. Justin Gray and I worked with him on All-Star Western for 2 years. And we did a book together, a Kickstarter called Killing Time in America, which I love. He just did an amazing job. So I called him just randomly because he was my first choice on the book. And I always say, go after the first choice, see if he's busy, then I have to go to number 2. And we got on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, Sonja, man, I love Sonja. Yeah, I'll do it." And I was like, "What?" And and I called up Dynamite right away, and I said, "Just pay him whatever he wants. He's doing this." And so we got really lucky.
So he's fast. He's good. And he's available.
And also he's penciling, inking, and coloring the book, which he doesn't do very often.
That's wild. Wow.
And he takes notes great because on these pages I was telling him I want the blood should splatter everywhere. It should be on her.
And look at how ferocious she looks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mess with her.
Yeah.
Although that guy, if you go back to the panel, if you can go back to that for a second, I want to point out something.
You got it, Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny.
Johnny might need a second.
Oh, sorry, Johnny.
I was just going to point out something that was a little crude, but
sorry, my 4-year-old came in, and so say it again.
Oh no, it was just the frame you were showing with the two. Yeah, I mean, on the bottom right, where is that guy looking?
He's looking at her butt cheeks.
He's looking at her butt cheeks. All right, I just wanted to confirm that.
I have always assumed that she has a thong, like bikini, like a leather thong underneath all of the, I mean, I'm sure there are some people that assume there's nothing there, but I've always assumed that
you said a little leather thong, right?
Yeah,
I would think so. I would think, although, okay. Well, we answered that question.
So I'm thinking.
All right. We don't know. I mean, we might find out in issue 2.
That's a more attack question.
We might find out in issue 2 or 3 what that's about. I say buy the book and find out.
There you go. We need the origin story of Red Sonja's thong, her leather thong. So there you go. Maybe a nice backup.
I'm surprised they didn't put that out as a collectible, Amanda. Like some of your art on the front of it, like a pair of panties, like Sonja panties. What do you think? I think that would be
leather Sonja panties.
Yeah, leather Sonja panties. Think about it, folks.
Held together with like little metal rings, and like ties. So
on the side, yeah. Because I always picture like her armor to me always look like a bunch of silver dollars.
It does look like a bunch of
I
mean, I think like, technically chainmail doesn't look like that, but it looks really cool in a comic.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
You'll learn.
So beyond the leather thong, what is the lasting appeal of Red Sonja for you both individually? What do you think?
I think like one of the things I love about her is she's just so unapologetic and so like she don't care. She doesn't. She's very free. There's something to be said about like somebody who wanders the forests, and searching for. Either work as a bounty hunter or work as a bodyguard or, something to steal.
I do.
She's very free. And it's the attitude. She's got really good attitude.
I do love that the people around her underestimate her.
Yeah. Should
What?
I help that?
Help him do what?
I don't know if he's trying to like turn around.
Oh, we have somebody outside this. Anyway, no, I'm sure he can figure it out.
Okay.
But no, I like that she's like, because she's a woman, right? There's a certain, and these are during barbarian times. People underestimate her a lot.
Right.
They see her and they think, oh, look, the nice little girl with a sword. Oh, what's she gonna do? And actually, we have a scene in the story where she walks into a pub, and she says, I need this information, and I'll let the first person that gives it to me, I'll let you live. And it's like filled with like 100 guys, and they're like, what? Like, what are you, crazy? And there's a fun 4 or 5 page scene after that where it's just insane. So I do love, I do love her attitude, and she has a sense of what's right and wrong, but she won't let that get in her way sometimes if she wants.
Right.
I do like that she can drink
anybody under the table. Yeah,
under the table. She just has to look out for low beams, and but I like that about her. I they used to say female Conan, and I'm like going, no, she's somewhat sophisticated than Conan.
Yeah.
And I've always loved it. I love the character since the first appearance in Conan when Barry Smith and Roy were writing. I just love that whole thing with her being like Conan meeting another thief. I think there's so much to like about that. And then visually, right? The red hair, the big red hair, and
the red hair, the
like Amanda draws her right there, like with the attitude on her face, like yeah, don't mess with that. That poor thing that she killed there. She's got a piece of his jaw in her hand, like over her shoulder.
I love it.
Yeah, it's just like business as usual.
Right, yeah. A typical day in Red Sonja.
There's a lot to like about the character, and within the story, we get to know her a little more. There is a princess character that Sonja is kind of looking after at one point, and they have some interesting conversations together. So there's a lot of fun in the series.
All right, awesome. Well, actually, I got 2 more comments here. Exactly, Amanda. She's got loads of attitude. I can't wait for this. Good, thanks, Liz.
Thank you.
Brian Blevins back. The best answers are the ones to the questions where we really never thought of asking. New Under Armour.
There you go.
Hashtag new Under Armour.
I do always love, answering the questions that I don't expect to get. That's the most fun. Like if we're like doing an interview, or if we're on a panel somewhere and people go like either slightly off topic or really off topic, or they want to know something that's a little weird about the topic. That's that's the stuff I enjoy talking about the most.
Awesome. Actually, you lobbed it up for me, Amanda. This is perfect because we're about to do rapid fire, which is when the audience submits questions and then we ask you guys. So let's see if we got something interesting for you. Let's do it. Right. All right. So yeah, we took to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere we could get our hands on you guys. And like, we were like, hey, you guys want to ask Amanda and Jimmy some questions? Submit them. And so you did. So let's see what we got. All right. Oh, but Zeo Ranger UK. I got a little stuck there on the name for a second. Is there anything that you never got to do in Harley Quinn that you can do now in the Invincible Red Sonja? That's a good question. Thank you, Zeo Ranger.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I mean, definitely Sonja taking on a pub full of guys with swords and beheading a lot of them.
But I feel like we could have done that with Harley.
Could have, but we didn't really. Let me think. I'm thinking there is some nudity in the series.
Is there?
I think there is.
I mean, we
might be covering it with word balloons. I'm not sure.
No, the sirens are topless, I think, but it's just like little dots. It's not.
Okay.
All
right.
It's little dots.
Hey, we know what those dots are. Come on.
So there's like some bare siren boobies that probably would not have like gotten past DC legal.
I think there's the tone of the book is different than Harley, so I'll say it's a little more intense. It definitely doesn't have the joking around part like Harley.
Yeah, I mean a little bit. It's like some of it is a little bit
Wink, wink.
Yeah, like, and dark humor a little bit.
Well, we like dark humor. We're like big Shane Black fans, so we kind of like that kind of like.
I love it. Yeah.
This is horrible, but I kind of have to laugh at it on some level. Otherwise, I'm going to start crying and screaming.
Yeah.
But not a lot. I mean, it's a different character, so there is like a lot of different things going on than Harley. Harley was more whimsical. I'll say Sonja's not that whimsical.
No, she's devoid of whimsy. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Also, thanks for mentioning Shane Black. I was just talking to a buddy about how much I love The Last Boy Scout. So there you go.
Oh yeah.
What else we got here? Nick Baldwin. Do you guys have a single favorite Sonja story from the good old days? Can you pinpoint a story that's stuck with you over these years?
For me, her first meeting with in the pages of Conan stands out because all of a sudden, this character I've never, it was created just for the comic. All of a sudden is like, oh my God! In 1 to 2 books, she's like amazing. I want to see more of this character. Obviously, everybody did because the series came out after it. Amanda, you going to say the one shot I wrote with Liam Shaw? No, I'm kidding.
That's it. I'm talking about the old days, though. I'm trying to remember like a single story. Here's what's going to happen. I can't think of it right now, but I'm going to think of it 10 minutes after this show is over.
Fantastic.
Which helps you not at all.
There's so many, like I said, but the first one stands out for me because that was like I was young when it came out, so I bought it off the stands.
I remember there was like one, I vaguely remember, I haven't read it like since, but it stuck out in my mind where she was strung up in what looked like a giant spider web and she was being force-fed honey. Right. So she was going to become like the queen of something. Like, a queen bee, but like a human queen bee.
Right.
And I'm trying to remember. That was a long time ago. I was like well over 13 or something.
Yeah, so we go back to our childhood, right? The thing that hits us when we're young. So
which story was that? It was definitely Frank Thorne, though.
All right, there you go. Roy Thomas, Frank Thorne.
Frank Thorne.
Honey's.
Yeah, like these little creatures, like these little like fairy creatures were force feeding her honey.
Oh, okay.
And,
okay, cool. All right. Well, our audience is very knowledgeable. If you guys know what issue that is, definitely let us know in the comments because they'll be on it. They're like that with it, so it's all good. What other questions do we have? Never read Red Sonja before. Gasp. Exception with Betty and Veronica. Okay, I'll back it up a little bit. Sorry. Could I jump in onto this and enjoy it without the previous stories?
Mara, you absolutely can.
Yeah, it's its own encapsulated story. You don't have to like know a lot of history.
Yeah, the origin of Red Sonja is that she came out of her mother, and she picked up a sword at some point. No, there's a lot. You don't need to know.
You don't have to know the origin. I mean, you can go back and find the origin. You can find out the origin if you want.
I'm sure Dynamite. Yeah, Dynamite reprinted it.
But. It's like she had, of course, a really rough origin, really horrible, rapey kind of nasty origin.
But it has nothing to do with the story we're telling. So she can.
But it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with our story.
Issue 1, it's an entry story. You're there for the ride. So absolutely.
All right. I think we got one more question here. All right. Okay. The title Invincible Red Sonja is interesting because she's not traditionally viewed as invincible. I don't know. Don't know if I agree with that. Is there a narrative reason why you chose that title, or did you just like the sound of it, or did Red Sonja have a sword to your throats? Love it, by the way. You kind of already answered this, but I don't know if you want to unpack it a little bit more.
I'm going to answer that. What? No, I'm kidding. It has to do with the story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Red Sonja did have a sword to our throats. Yes.
And she did have a sword to our throats.
Yes.
Yeah, but it has
there is a reason. Yeah. Yes.
Something happens in the story, and then something happens to her, and she has to deal with it. And yes, it has everything to do with the story. It's not just a cool title like The Incredible Hulk or stuff like that. Although we did like the idea of doing that. I also wanted it to stand out because there's a lot of Sonja books and everything. We also wanted it to stand out a little bit, like. Mm-hmm. This is the series we're doing. So if you just put the word Red Sonja on it, it's another Red Sonja series, and you don't know if it's new or ours or whatever. So
right. There are a lot of Red Sonja books. You're absolutely right about it. I think we got another viewer comment.
Okay.
Christopher Matthew Jones. Wow, I randomly came across this video today. All right, I just read Amanda's glorious Silk Spectre series last week. I will keep my eyes peeled for this new Red Sonja series. Much love and huge success to you both, Amanda and Jemmy. All right, thanks, Christopher.
Thank you, Christopher. Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm so glad that you like the Silk Spectre too, because that was another book that I got really burned out on. I like poured like all of my energy into it for a year, and I think Jimmy can attest to that because he was like, "Where the hell are you? Still working? Oh my God, let's go out and do something." So
it was a great book, though.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
glad you liked it. I
But
really,
it was not worth a year of your life.
Well, thank you, Christopher.
It deserved the better treatment when it came out. You know, people were like, you know, not nice to Watchmen when it came out. And then all of a sudden, HBO series and everybody loves Watchmen again. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
That's like,
it is what it is.
Yeah, there was a little people were a little burned by the Watchmen relaunch, I think, at one point. But you know, seems like time is on its side this time. So
yeah. We were just ahead of the curve.
there you go. So I'm actually going to switch gears real quick, actually, because I saw a solicit for, or like a press release for this Blondie book that you guys are working on.
Yes.
And I thought this was actually pretty cool and a little bit unexpected. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, okay, yeah, there it is. Oh, that's nice little.
Cool
teaser there. This is a book. This is a book by coming out from Z2 in fall. We're working on it right now, and it's basically the biography of the band Blondie, from who they are, how they got started, and then their careers until they actually broke up.
And then got back together. Or no, broke up.
No, broke up. And don't ruin it. Don't ruin the ending.
No happy ending.
But we're writing the biography where Chris Stein, Deborah Harry, and the group are involved in it. They're proofreading our stuff that we're putting there. But it's a really fun book drawn by John McCrae, who we love working with, and he's another great artist. But we both love the band since we were kids. I've seen them live. Amanda's seen them play, and we got this gig. We got lucky, and they thought the two of us could do it justice, and we're going to try our hardest to make that book amazing. So if you never heard the band, well, everybody's kind of heard some music by Blondie, but
they're using Heart of Glass on a commercial now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, on TV.
So I think everybody's starting to hear it all over again.
So it's the story of a bunch of people in New York when New York was pretty crappy, that were very talented, trying to navigate their way through after school. And trying to navigate their way through life, and having a love for music they wanted to be a part of, and that's the basic story about how they found each other, and started a band that blew up a billion times bigger than they ever thought it would. I mean, almost everybody in the band was from another band that wasn't doing well, and it's just a great story. And we hope. We don't know what to expect. We're just going to do the best we can and see what happens.
Yeah.
But Amanda got to do the cover early because they wanted to solicit it early because it's not till fall. But I think they're doing a special edition of it and everything. So they have a lot of plans. Our job is basically writing the hell out of it, and nobody's ever told the story of them in a graphic novel form. So we have a lot of cool, bizarre stuff we're doing. We're not just telling it straight.
Yeah.
We're actually New York is a character in the book, so I will say that it's something different, but I hopefully worthy of the band. Hopefully we do them justice. That's what all we do is worry that they're gonna like it. So that's like our full-time job right now.
And John McCrae, John McCrae is terrific, and he is one of the reasons that the Pro came about. I have to, even though he didn't work on the book at all, it's he's partially responsible for it existing because we were all drinking in a bar in Germany when we started tossing the idea around.
Yeah.
So
John's he's been a great friend, and like I said, he's between Hitman and all the stuff he's done in his career. This one again, we had to find an artist that loved the band as much as we did, because
Right.
this is a job of love. It's not a job of.
It's a labor of love.
Yeah, it's absolutely
No
So,
doubt.
but that's it. Once in a while we have a random gig that's way out there.
Yeah.
This is it, but we get to hang out with rockers, so that's pretty cool.
That is cool. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Is this your first biographical comic? Like, is this the first time you guys have done anything like this, like based completely on real life events?
I kind of. Yeah, because I when I started, I drew 2 Madonna books for Personality Comics, but it was less it was a little bit biography mixed with a story. So I'll say that was my first time I did that. It was I just drew it. I didn't write it, and I just drew the 2 books, and they came out, and that's all I want to talk about.
The only thing I ever did was I did a Betty Page thing, but it never saw print.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
really? Wow.
Yeah. One day. One day.
Well, Dynamite's got Betty Page now. You should slide it under the desk.
There's some legal stuff in it that we have.
I'm sure.
That has nothing to do with Dynamite or even Betty Page, but one day it'll get out there.
All right, cool. All right, so circling back to Red Sonja, before we close out, in terms of audience, who do you think the Invincible Red Sonja is for?
Ooh.
4 to 6 year olds. I
would say that that's the audience that it's not for.
Right, that's probably not the audience.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, like people who love sword and sorcery, like violence.
Sexy,
sexy
men, fantasy. I'd say anything from like 12 years old to till they're dead, till 90 something. Because you got an old guy writing it, and so I like it. I'm writing it like I'm writing it like this is the comic I want to buy. This is the Sonja book I want.
There you
if
go.
that makes any sense. So I'm writing it that way. I think anybody who likes sword and sorcery, I think anybody who likes the character, and especially anybody that likes the work Amanda and I have done, we do have a beat to our work, and we that's apparent in Sonja as well. There's a sort of fun quality we try to put in all of our work, and Sonja definitely has that as well.
Awesome. So look, guys, if you've read The Pro, if you've read Harley Quinn, if you read The Big Con Job, if you've read any of those books, this is the book for you. And if you're also a Red Sonja fan, of course, this is also the book for you. So perfect. Absolutely perfect. Guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me for the last couple of minutes here. This is actually really cool.
For inviting us.
Yeah, man. This was easy. There was no trick questions.
No. We love comics. Like, we enjoy talking about them, and like we enjoy talking to creators about their process and how they came into it and all that other stuff. So yes, I appreciate it very much.
Well, and we appreciate everybody coming back.
Yeah.
Especially coming by, especially Brian Blevins and Liz and Jason and SDA. We want to say hi to you, buddy. You just came in here now, and David and everybody. Thank you for stopping by, because we do appreciate you guys.
SDA said hi.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I'm going to remind everyone watching right now, look, now's the time to pre-order, guys. The window is getting a little smaller because we're at the end of the month and we're about to shift into a new catalog. So just punch up your comic shop, like call them on the phone, hit them up on Messenger or whatever it is that you use to contact your comic shop, and let them know, because this book is dropping May 5th, 2021. It's from Dynamite Comics. It's called The Invincible Red Sonja. And as far as the Blondie book, there's no current pre-order for your local comic shop, but I think there will be in a couple of months. So definitely keep an eye on that inside the previews catalog in the future issues of the previews catalog. Also remind you guys to like, share, and subscribe. And that's it. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everyone tuning in and joining us this week. And we'll be back with more comic talk in the near future. And again, Red Sonja coming to your local comic shop. And if you've been paying attention, you already know that. So there you go. Thanks for joining us, and I will catch you guys next time. See you at the Spinner Rack.